The Secret Door to Success by Florence Scovel Shinn. A successful man is always asked, "What's your secret to your success?" People never ask a man, "What's your secret to your failure?" It is quite easy to see that they are not interested. People want to know how to open the secret door to success, not failure. For each man there is success, but that success often is hiding behind a door or a wall. In the Bible, we have heard the wonderful story of the walls of Jericho. And you know, all biblical stories have a metaphysical interpretation. Let's talk about your walls of Jericho, the wall separating you from your success. Nearly everyone has built a wall around himself. Let's call this your wall of Jericho. Jericho is a city you're not able to enter. It contains great treasures, and that treasure is your divinely designed success, your heart's desire. So the people shouted when the priest blew the trumpet, and it came to pass. When the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with so much energy, the wall fell down flat. The force of that energy was so great that the people went up to the city. Every man went straight before him, and they took the city. Joshua 6:20. What kind of wall have you built around your Jericho? Often it is the wall of resentment. Resenting someone or resenting a situation shuts off your good. If you are a failure and resent the success of someone else, that is your wall. You are keeping yourself away from your own success. I have given the following statement to neutralize envy and resentment. What God has done for others, He now does for me, and more. A woman was filled with envy because a friend had received a gift. She made this statement: "What God has done for others, He now does for me, and more." An exact duplicate of the gift was given to her, plus a second gift. It was when the children of Israel shouted that the walls of Jericho fell. When you declare your affirmation of truth, your walls of Jericho will totter. Affirm your truth. I gave the following statement to a woman: "The walls of lack and deny now crumble away, and I enter into the promised land under grace." She had a vivid picture of stepping over a fallen wall and received the demonstration of her good almost immediately. Your word is your wand. It is the word of realization which brings about a change in your affairs. Your words and thoughts are a form of radioactivity, a vibration that speaks to the universe. Taking an interest in your work, loving what you are doing, opens the secret door to success. A number of years ago, I was on a boat in the Panama Canal, and on that boat I met a man by the name of Jim Tully. He had told this story for years, that he had been a tramp, and he even called himself the king of hobos. Despite his conditions, he was ambitious and was willing to educate himself. He had a vivid imagination and commenced writing stories about his hobo experiences. He dramatized the tramp life. He enjoyed what he was doing and became a very successful writer. I remember one book titled "Outside Looking In." It was so well received, it was made into a motion picture. He is now famous, prosperous, and lives in Hollywood. What opened the secret door for success for Jim Tully? Dramatizing his life, being interested in doing what he was doing, and telling his stories of being a tramp. On the boat, we all sat at the captain's table, which gave us a great opportunity to talk. Mrs. Greystone was also a passenger on that boat. She had written the book Bitter Tea of General Yen and was going to Hollywood to have it made into a motion picture. She had lived in China and was inspired to write the book. That is the secret of success, to make what you're doing so interesting that other people want to turn it into a book. They want to read your story or a motion picture. Be interested in yourself and what you're doing, and soon others will find you fascinating. Smile. Get your face at a park. A good disposition, a smile, often opens the secret door. The Chinese say, "A man without a smiling face must not open a shop." The success of a smile was brought out in a French motion picture in which Chevalier took the lead. The picture was called With a Smile. One of the characters had become poor, dreary, and almost derelict. He said to Chevalier, "What good has my honesty done for me?" Chevalier replied, "Even honesty won't help you without a smile." So the man transformed on the spot. He smiled, he cheered up, and he became very successful. Using the psychic megaphone to live in the past, complain of your misfortunes, complain about the people, builds a thick wall around your Jericho. Don't dilute your power. Talking too much about your affairs scatters your energy and your forces. It brings up a high wall. Have you ever known a man of brains and ability who was a complete failure? I knew one who lived with his mother and aunt, and every night when he came home to dinner, he told them everything, good and bad. He discussed all of his hopes, his fears, and his failures. I said to him, "Silence is golden." You scatter your forces, your vibration, and by talking about your affairs. Don't discuss your business with your family or your friends until your dreams have come into formation. Silence is golden. He took my lead. During future dinners, he refused to talk about his business. His mother and aunt were furious. They were in despair. They loved the gossip. They loved the Ain't It Awfuls. They loved to hear all about everything. But his silence proved to be golden. Not long after, he was given a position at $100 a week. In today's term, that would be $1,500. And in a few years, he had a salary of $300 a week, or $5,000 per week. Success is not a secret. It is a system. Many people are up against the wall of discouragement. Courage and endurance are part of the system. We read this in the lives of all successful men and women. I had an amusing experience which brought this to my notice. I went to a movie picture theater to meet a friend. While waiting, I stood near a young boy selling programs. He called people passing by. Buy a complete program of the picture containing photographs of the actors and a sketch of their lives. Most people passed by without buying, but to my great surprise, he suddenly turned to me and said, "Say, this ain't no great job with a guy with ambition." And then he gave me a lecture on success. He said most people give up just before something big is coming to them. A successful man never gives up. Of course, I was interested and said, "I'll bring you a book the next time I come. It's called The Game of Life and How to Play It. You will agree with a lot of the ideas." A week or two later, I went back to the theater with the book. The girl at the ticket office said to him, "Let me read it first, Eddie, while you're selling your programs." The man who took the ticket leaned over to see what it was all about. The game of life and how to play it always gets people's interest. I returned to the theater in about 3 weeks. Eddie was gone. He had expanded into a new job that he liked. His walls of Jericho had crumbled. He had refused to be discouraged. Only twice is the word success mentioned in the Bible, both times in the book of Joshua. Only be strong and very courageous. Observe all the laws which Moses, my servant, commands of you. Turn not from it for the right or the left. Stay on a straight line so that thou may have good success wherever you go. The word is your wand. Meditate on the prosperity of the day and night. Journal and create a system of success for you, and then you shall create the way of prosperity, and you shall have great success. Choose your lane. Turn not to the left or the right. The road of success is a straight and narrow path. It is a road of loving absorption, of undivided attention. You attract to you the things that give you a great deal of thought. So if you give a great deal of thought to lack, you attract lack. If you give a great deal of thought to injustice, you attract more injustice. The inner meaning of this story is the power of the word. Your word is your wand. Your word dissolves obstacles and removes barriers. Learn to speak the word. When the people shouted, the walls fell down. we find in folklore and in fairy tales, which is handed down from legends found on truth. The same idea. A word opens a door or cleaves a rock. We have it again in the Arabian Nights story, Ali Baba and the 40 Night Thieves. Ali Baba had a secret hiding place, hidden somewhere behind rocks and mountains. The entrance could only be gained by speaking a secret word. The secret word, "Open Sesame." Ali Baba faced the mountain and cried out, "Open Sesame," and the rock slid apart. Learn to speak the word to create the demonstration you desire to create. Silence is golden, but when you learn to speak the word, it is very inspiring, for it gives you the realization of how your own rocks and barriers will part at the right word. Open Sesame.
It's a deep knowingness about what is true for you. The energies that's been healed is a bit like carrying around rocks in a suitcase. You become accustomed to carrying around rocks in a suitcase, and you get used to this suitcase trailing you or always being right there, always being with you. You're really releasing things at a very deep level of soul contracts, of pledges, of vows, of promises, of things that you agreed to, is that there are going to be parts of your life, parts of your world, people, experiences that you're just no longer interested in. These healed parts of you that you've been working through that maybe were really slow going, really scary, really challenging, those are being released.
So let's affirm, the walls of lack and deny now crumble away as I enter my promised land under grace. Open Sesame.